For over 150 years, gold and silver mining has been an important part of the history and economic development of northeastern Washington, affecting many lives. Throughout the years, there have been many changes in this region. Most of the companies who started here have long ago disappeared. Only a few mining concerns still operate today. Many families who live and work here can trace their heritage back to the original miners of the past. But many new families have recently settled into the area as well.
This region, this northwest part of Washington and Canada, is definitely a mineral-rich environment.
Republic was an old mining town. Mining is what keeps us here. We have to take care of the community.
We appreciate a stable mining operation here. It makes our economy more consistent.
A lot of our family lives in the area, and we enjoy it. This is probably one of the prettiest places in the state of Washington, so it's pretty nice for us to be able to call this home.
I just like the rural area. The people are nice. It's just small, quiet.
It's just a neat life.
That same pioneer spirit, can-do attitude, and strong work ethic still remains here today. The mission continues on, but the commitment to the community and the environment is greater than ever before. In 1989, Echo Bay Minerals received approval to build a mill and gold mine in Ferry County, Washington State. Once the commitment was made, construction was completed in record time, and the mill and mine operations began to produce gold, generating jobs and boosting the local economy. Since then, the Echo Bay Mill has processed gold ores from 7 different company-owned mines in Ferry and Okanogan counties, providing consistent employment opportunities. The Kettle River Mill is still operating today, and the active mine site is now 45 miles northwest of the mill at Buckhorn Mountain in Okanogan County. Besides being a great location for productive mining operations, this beautiful part of the state of Washington is home to abundant wildlife and provides great recreational opportunities and a wonderful quality of life for the employees and their families. From Republic to Wakanda, from Tenasket to Oroville, from Chesaw to Curlew. This is a great place to live.
The economy here, both in the county and the city, has been quite depressed. So having Kinross and the ability to have good paying jobs is essential to the economy.
I started in December of '89. When I came up here, it was a 3 to 5 year mine life. I'm still here. The mill's still here. We're still mining.
We're really glad that Kinross stuck with it and found more ore and fought the battles they did just to keep, some employment going here,
While many of the local mining operations began to shut down, the Echo Bay Minerals property continued to be successful and flourish. In 2003, Kinross, a worldwide leader in mining, purchased Echo Bay Minerals and the Kettle River Mill. Kinross also purchased Crown Resources, thus acquiring the Buckhorn mine. Since that time, Kinross has made a major investment into the infrastructure and economic development of this region. Kinross is a worldwide mining company with a rich history of successful mining operations in many diverse countries and cultures. They are recognized as a world leader in responsible mining practices.
People are very proud to work here. It's great to work in an operation where people are so proud to be part of it. We're not safe because the government tells us to be. We're safe because it's the right way to operate. It's a core value, and it's also the most efficient way to operate. We have a really good safety record here, and we must have a workforce that believes in that, or you wouldn't be able to achieve that.
The Kinross Kettle River operation and the Buckhorn Mine's core values include putting people first above anything else. They also have a firm track record of good corporate citizenship. They are actively involved in the community at every level. They have developed a productive high-performance culture within the company. A team of dedicated professionals provide rigorous environmental stewardship, strict financial discipline, and operational stability.
Ken Ross has been a huge supporter of the community.
Ken Ross has provided jobs and provided some economic stability and growth potential.
They don't just come in and get the ore out and leave. They are part of the communities. It's been good for both counties in an economic downturn time, and it's employed a lot of people.
Ken Ross has made a point of hiring locally, which I appreciate as an elected official.
I have several graduates that have left Republic and now have gainful employment at Ken Ross.
I thought once you leave Republic and go to college that you had go out in the big world and get a job, and it looked really hard to actually get a job, so it was nice to move back here and have a job waiting for me.
The economic engine that this brings certainly to a community this size in the times of today where the economy is challenged anyway, it's absolutely, it'd be earth-shattering. It makes a huge difference. So we're certainly trying to keep operations going in this part just as long as we possibly can, because we want to live here too.
The story of how Kinross gold is mined and processed begins in the mountains at the Buckhorn mine in Okanogan County. The Buckhorn mine began operations in 2008 and has proven reserves through 2015 with ongoing exploration that could potentially extend the mine life. The mine employs over 65 underground workers, 20 mechanics and electricians, and 20 support staff and management operating 24 hours a day. In addition, the milling employs engineers, electricians, environmental specialists, security personnel, plus management staff. This entire operation is also supported by outside contractors. This provides a huge financial impact on the local economy. These days, gold mining is conducted much differently than it was in the past. Concern for safety and the environment is at the top of the priority list. It has become a way of life ingrained into every aspect of the operation.
Ken Ross, I'd have to say, the main thing I like is their safety and environmental ethics.
No company's going to stay in business if they don't take care of the natural resources.
The Kinross Buckhorn mine is completely underground. The miners use a fully mechanized drift and fill mining method. The development rock removed from the mine is eventually replaced in each section of the mine. In this continuous process, there is no requirement for permanent rock storage at the site. Following daily blasting, a 10-foot area, 15 feet wide by 15 feet high, is excavated each day. The ore is then removed, evaluated, sorted, and stacked. These ore piles have been earmarked to be trucked to the mill. Approximately 1,300 tons of ore are sent to the mill each day. Ore is transported to the mill by an independent contractor in 32-ton haul trucks. Waste rock is temporarily stored on-site until backfill. Kinross maintains an extensive water treatment facility at Buckhorn to filter and purify all their water that flows out of the mine underground and on the surface. Over 144,000 gallons per day are treated.
Any water that comes in contact with any of the mined material or development rock, that is collected and also treated through the plant.
The water is very controlled, it's well thought out. There's a lot of time, effort, and money put into studying how best to manage the water that we're using in this area and to reintroduce it back into the environment.
It results in a very high quality water for discharge. It removes 80 or 90% of the potential contaminants in the water and produces a very clean water for discharge to surface water.
Testing of the ore is conducted each day at the Kinross laboratory. Here, skilled geologists can determine the safest and most productive sections of this mine that can be excavated and backfilled. This process is critical to the ongoing success of the mine and also helps protect the miners. Gold is used for many things. It is an excellent conductor of heat and electricity and is extremely corrosive resistant. We often think of gold as just used in jewelry, but it has many applications in electronics, aerospace, medical equipment, appliances, and automobiles. Gold forms the basis for world monetary funds, banking, and investment. Getting even a small amount of gold is not an easy process when you consider that 1 ton of ore, the size of a large refrigerator, equals approximately only 1/2 ounce of gold. That would be the equivalent of a typical wedding ring. It's a lot of work for such a small amount of gold. Since its completion in 1989, the Kinross Kettle River Mill has been a critical part of this region's economy. Not only does it process the ore coming in from the Buckhorn mine, but it also processes ore from other mines in the region. This keeps the work in the state of Washington and provides additional jobs and services. The ore is unloaded into the crusher, where it is ground down to the proper dimension and consistency for transport into the plant. Here it is further pulverized into a fine-grained powder. The powder is washed and treated with cyanide to extract the gold from the ore. Eventually, the gold particles are collected onto electrowinning cells where a sludge is formed before being sent to the refinery for further separation through flotation and other processes. The sludge is then heated and refined into gold bars. The tailings are stored in an existing tailing disposal facility. The final result, and highlight each day of all this hard work, is the pouring of a gold bar. This is conducted in a highly secure area.
Well, with mining, there's always a challenge. If you don't have one today, you're going to have one tomorrow. And meeting those challenges is a lot of fun.
To actually do all of it and all the testing and work that goes into it, it's really impressive, and I'm pretty excited to learn about it and be a part of it.
The folks that work here have been an absolute dream to work with.
Even with fluctuations in the gold prices, Kinross will remain competitive in this region by utilizing the mining systems and processes now in place. To be profitable requires constant vigilance and willingness to go the extra mile. Safety for the employees, the environment, and community is never compromised and has always remained the first and foremost priority at Kinross. When it comes to the environment, Kinross has worked hard to make sure that they leave a caring and positive legacy behind for future generations. Constant mitigation, viable conservation projects are conducted regularly. Wetland studies, hydroseeding, fish and wildlife monitoring are ongoing. These vital programs have been put in place to protect the forest and wildlife.
When you leave a site after reclamation, you can never leave a site without impacts, but you reclaim to as natural a topography or a blending in as you can to adjacent lands.
To listen, resolve concerns, and involve the community, Kinross has formed a community advisory board made up of local business, homeowners, and community leaders to interface with company employees and management on issues regarding the mine and the mill operations.
Our purpose is to gather community issues and concerns, talk them over, decide on a course of action, and recommend to Kinross what we feel would be a good solution.
We can serve as an avenue for both citizens' complaint and compliments.
They recognized that as a community they had to come together, and they were farsighted enough to realize that if they had some sort of structure, some sort of what they called a good neighbor agreement, that they could work through their differences.
As part of this firm commitment to the community, Kinross employees are encouraged to play an active role as volunteers on community projects and training programs. This includes service projects to the elderly, nonprofit organizations benefits, youth sports, education, and much more.
And I've been a volunteer fireman for about 13 years, and 10 of those years I've been running the education for kids for stop, drop, and roll and how to get out of your house in case of a fire.
The folks that work here take care of the community, take care of the schools, and make sure that we have a positive impact. And it's just nice to work for a company that supports those types of actions.
It is difficult to gauge the overall Kinross economic impact on this region, but there are certain statistics that can be shared that help provide a true picture. Each year, Kinross pays out an average of $5.5 million to the local and state governments combined. Construction and annual payroll has been over $20 million each year. Kinross spends an average of $11 million each year on goods and services, with over 50% of these funds spent in the local community. Typically, $150,000 is donated each year to the local community.
Whatever it happens to be that's going on in our community, they seem to get involved in it. They got kind of deep pockets and the people just keep going and asking for money, but they're willing to help. And I think that's great. They've been a great asset to our community.
The money that is generated here stays here, you know, whether our grocery stores, our clothing stores, our restaurants, you know. It's helped out our schools.
They're very generous in their local and community support. So the local schools, the Stone Rose Interpretive Center, various different other activities and community activities. Kinross is always involved in those.
Recent donations from Kinross have supported community and educational needs in Ferry and Okanagan counties, including park benches, a special library section for youth, hospital expansion, computers and vocational equipment for schools, high school sports program support, and facilities to enhance outdoor activities.
We were trying to make a place where teenagers could hang out because in our small town of Republic, there really isn't anywhere to go.
Now there's an actual place that you can sit and read books and be kind of separated. It's more welcoming.
Kinross was really key in helping make that possible.
To give people an opportunity to be able to stay in their community for primary health care services makes a big difference.
Wakanda Hall has been in existence, I think, since like 1917. Our main fundraiser is a sock hop car show that we raise money to help everybody in the community have a good Christmas. I came and asked Kinross if they would like to help donate, and they've been very gracious and no hesitation to help us.
They make donations to the rodeo. I called them and they donate what we send in a thing, how much we would like, and they're right on top of it and donate, and it goes towards putting the rodeo on.
Kinross is very, very supportive of the local community. They're quick to be there to offer donations, whether it's cash or just physical service, people being there to help out.
They actually bought us all of these mats for the driving range so we could have our own driving range. Finally gives us a place to go so we don't have to go and hit out on the playground. It's nice.
You can talk the talk, but when it comes down to it, a lot of times it comes down to dollars. You know, we all want to do the right thing for the kids, but it takes money. And Kinross is totally willing to give a little bit of money, and they also give a lot of help to us.
The rich history of this area is appreciated and will never be forgotten. Today there is a new breed of miners, committed to their families, the community, and the environment.
Without them here, we wouldn't be as well off as we are right now.
We're just really grateful to Kinross for all that they've done for the library and for the teens of our community.
They're just good people, and I believe that they're very concerned about our community as we are about our community.
Kinross is doing their job, and they do a good job at it.
It's huge. They've been a big supporter of the community. The jobs that have come to the community with the operation of the mine is essential.
I recommend mining as a good way of life.
Ever since you're a little kid, you grow up and you play with Tonka trucks in the sandbox, huh? We're doing what we can as far as getting ore out and making money doing it. So it's like being a kid and doing the same thing you did as a kid, only you get to do it as an adult.
Just keep digging out there and don't run out of ore, that's all. Just hang around for a while.
The management and employees of Kinross are setting a new standard of professionalism and excellence, while at the same time demonstrating a caring commitment to the community. They maintain a sensitive balance of safety for their people and protection of our environment. They have been able to operate a profitable and productive business in a world of strict regulation and government accountability at all levels. Kinross at Kettle River and Buckhorn. Committed to responsible mining, willing and able to do their part.